Alright, it is Friday evening, I assume, so let's nestle down for a nice long session of Montenegro's big blue block. We faked out yesterday and I feel like we cut it short the day before, so let's just plough through the hours with this tonight. What's the situation right now? I'm reminding myself, perhaps more than you. We have Kazakh as our subject, we are integrating them. We will launch a final reconquest on Uzbek to get the last cores back off of them. We made sure we kept a border with the Oirats so that we can declare war on them when the need arises. And with Ming not willing to help them out, the need may be arising, but there may be other greener pastures. Timurids are still our ally, they are strong and loyal and even, I believe, paying us for knowledge sharing, isn't that right? Sweet, it's nice having a surplus. Mazandaran has taken over this area that we definitely want to be our own. It's a pretty rich one. And it only involves scraping apart the last of Karakiunlu, so that is a very tempting place to expand as well. The Ottomans have not attacked us in a very long time. Long may it stay that way. We have large, powerful allies. We got Sweden, Commonwealth. We last minute allied Austria, probably because I thought the Ottomans were going to deck on me, so I got them as potential food for the Ottomans, so I wouldn't lose out myself. I'm still not above selling out my allies. The Commonwealth, now we had a very trepidatious situation last time. Commonwealth are falling apart to rebels. They can repair for this if they're given a bit of a free time here. They had a large-ish coalition of Germans against them, so I was prepared to drop them as an ally, attack Denmark when Commonwealth wouldn't honour, and then the coalition would likely attack Commonwealth and they would fall to pieces. But in the nick of time, the Commonwealth said no, I would defend Denmark, so I backed off. I did not drop the alliance, which is good because, you know, we've built up trust over this time. Not quite favours, it takes a long time to get favours. So, stop short of there. We're going to rethink what our next plan of attack is. I gotta say, Mazandaran and QQ look like delicious targets, but given that our capital is here, perhaps we should try to expand out from where we are. Denmark is obviously off the menu, Sweden's not particularly enticing, but what of these people? We've been fabricating claims over on the Latvians and Livonian Order. Now granted the culture is pretty garbage, not something I'd want to accept, but they're fellow Christians, so easy enough to convert. The development is nice and high, it's built up. I quite like the look of that land, and as it happens, Commonwealthy are willing to join in. I'd bring in Sweden just for some extra guarantee there, because Commonwealth are having trouble, and that would involve Riga and Bohemia and Liège. Speaking of Riga, I would really quite like that province. I would like it a lot. I'm thinking I might just co-belligerate them. 8, 7, 29, so 60, 70 odd. I can still give land to the Commonwealth. I'm thinking it might be a good idea to strike at Livonian Order immediately, call in Riga as a co-belligerent, because here's the way: it'll either go very well, and then we steamroll them, or it goes very badly specifically for the Commonwealth, and with a bit of luck, these Ryazanians and the Kievians break free, and then I am able to consume this land. I think that's a bit far-fetched, but if nothing else, say they don't fall apart, they might still not be willing to help Denmark when I crush them. So I'm thinking we'll try to weaken the Commonwealth here, despite them being my ally, which means I need my units over in position here. I should definitely mark this land up as being my vital interest. I want the whole area. Commonwealth appear to want one of these provinces themselves, but I'm sure that won't end our friendship. Siberians want to rise up. Why would they do such a thing? Actually, really, where didn't I give them the autonomy that they desired? In yes, so I'm not worried about that because the Bashkird fort keeps them at bay. Where's the rest of my army? Ah, here they are, slowly marching on for the prepared war against Denmark. But okay, don't forget to mark Riga. Nobody else has marked Riga, least of all the Swedes, but it's still a good idea. It's a good area, it's a very good area. Look at that, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, closer to 70 development, so I definitely want that. Let's just pull the trigger straight away. Riga, oh hold on, Riga's ally involves Hamburg. A pain, to be sure, but I'd like to have a decent shot at getting Riga in this war. So let's bring them all on. Hopefully the Commonwealth is able to withstand this. Bohemia could be a trouble. They could be a very big trouble, but let's just see what goes down. At least we're cleansing of heresy, which is a pretty great CB. Okay, their fortifications were on already, so it's not like I had a chance to catch them with their pants down anyway. Head over there. Maybe you should hold out in Ilgno or the likes, in case they... Ah, well, there we go. Well, sometimes things just go down that way. Darthair, dispatch them. You heavily outnumber them anyway. Tell you what else I'd quite like. If it comes to me actually having to fight, I'm not using a lot of cannons right now. I would like to change that. We certainly have the force limit. But do we have the bravery? I think we do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that would put 8 on that. Good enough. I don't want to burn through all of my money here. You know, I've only got 1100 or so. Worthy of note that the Livonian orders are also at war with the Danes, so this is getting a little busy in terms of relations, but it's not like Denmark are biting off big heavy heads to chew on. It's just a ragtag of nations down there. We heavily outnumber the foes, but you know, I wonder to what extent they're just counting the rebels of the Commonwealth right now. So if Commonwealth win out against all our foes, great. If they collapse to these rebels, also great. We'll just sweep up whatever remains. The downside is I won't be able to cleansing of heresy any revolts here. I'd have to claim them manually. And I'm not quite at the point where I'm willing to put spies on my ally. Alright, let's try to drive these guys out as best we can. If nothing else, rebels should be able to hold. It's not a full-on state of mine. Nor do I see any compelling reason that it should be. No. No, I don't. I'm sure Rebel will be fine. They don't have the blockade on it. That said, why is the garrison so tiny there? I hope they don't get any bright ideas about barraging it. Alright, got those heretics converted. We have enormous tolerance to true faith, by the way, 7.3, and it's only going to get higher. Regardless, we keep those conversions going. Not the expensive ones, God no, we're not made of money here. We're made of fire. Would PLC join you in a war against the Danes? Of course not, they're allied with the Danes. We broke that alliance before, but they got it back. I'm not happy that they got it back, but they did. Now, it's good if Sweden does sieges here, because Sweden will give the lands to me. Which is probably a good reason to tell Sweden to... Oh, well, they're already doing it, to siege this up. Get on it, please, Sweden. You have 7 cannons and 1 siege. I have 2 siege on my generals, so I'm better at that, but I have a nation to defend. The enemy's using cannons. Okay, and the enemies have given up their fight on that. It'd be even better if they split up, but if they just get out of there and Rebel gets a chance to restock their garrison, then all the better. Stuff happening in places I don't care about. Commonwealth, unfortunately, trying to kill their rebels instead of the enemy armies. Doesn't work well for me, sadly. Sweden, what are you up to? Where'd the Swedish army go? Oh, the Swedish army also went to fight rebels. That's not what I'm after, but fit Kinemandi. Just trying to get my everything together now. Let's have you guys together in... any of these places should have fine supply limit for you. Don't like the fact that he's bulking up here. I'd like him to split up so that I can dispatch his armies. I'm not quite at the point that I'm willing to sell out the Commonwealth here. Jeez, no, don't kill the Ryazanians. I like those. Ah, well, I can't make my allies do one thing or another. At least they're helping out with the blockade on Leafland. Austria wants to marry. I'm just not looking for that kind of commitment. I'm sorry. Now you folks get together with your... that's an unusual number. Why do I have 5 cavalry there? Did I integrate someone with cavalry, or did I accidentally a cavalry? Perhaps we'll never know, but what I do know is that the Swedes are good at fighting. Surprisingly, though, Livonians have even better morale. Relentless drill. Alright, that'll work for them. They got a big bonus there. Fortunately, the Swedes are really good at fighting in general, but they might not win this out with reinforcements coming in from... nah, they got this. I'm confident in the Swedes here. And that doesn't happen often. Good. I'm glad the Swedes take the fight rather than me, because if Commonwealthy took the fight, then Commonwealth would get a lot of war participation and they'd demand land for it. But I called in Sweden with favours, not promise of land. So that works out well for me. All according to plan. Probably. Let's split off a little bit so we get these occupado. Alright, Riga has a fort as well. It's gonna cause me some issues. I don't want to split up too much. I know the attrition is rough, but I don't want to get caught out with my armies here. That said, if you head on over to Riga, you should be able to do a fine job with those cannons and that extra siege, which would allow me to break off a lot of these guys. You just hang back a bit. I do not like taking extra attrition. Try to remove it wherever possible. That said, Darth there is going to be chewing it up in Riga, but Riga has a good supply limit if nothing else. Defenders desert. I had a small idea to make you pause there to get the extra siege tick, but the month had already passed. I was too slow for my own good. Don't worry, Jake, it's just Riga. You couldn't possibly lose to them. I'm more worried about the the aggressive expansion in all of this. I don't want a Europe-wide coalition against me here. Especially since the Ottomans are still not too chuffed with the things that I've done. That said, that aggressive expansion is going away. I might be able to be free of the Ottoman threat shortly enough. Sure, if you want to fight Livonians, go for it. Yeah, just head over to Leafland, it's all good. Unfortunately, they are dispatching the Kievans instead of the Bohemians. Oh my god, look at that! Wallachia taking care of Bohemia. Did I ever mention how much I love Romanians? Probably not. Almost certainly not. And yet. Alright, the conversions that I'm willing to afford are almost done. God, it's good being in the black. The PLC is at war with you right now. So yeah, I could declare war on Denmark, but I'm not really free to fight the Danes. The Danes are really powerful. Oh, also, there's some more Danes, but they're not fighting us. It's just... Bohemia loses their land, but Sweden loses theirs. All the more reason to bring Sweden in. They seem quite stalwart in these kinds of wars. Probably because they still have other fortifications, right? Well, they got you. I guess that's all you've got. Bloomin' Swedes. Okay, they want to take me on. I don't want to be taken on, as it happens. And if they're not willing to drop that, please drop that fight. Why are they so keen on that fight? Jesus. It's kind of scary that they want to go all in on that. Do they think themselves that much stronger than me? Because I am getting my ass kicked here, and I did just lose one of my generals in the fight. Their lines are holding dangerously well. Dangerously well? Jeez, I lost a lot in that. Fortunately, I didn't lose too much. I didn't lose a fight, but trust me, I was not satisfied with that. Not at all. Okay, we can still keep the battle going. I'm going to need a replacement general for all of that. I know somebody that can turn the tides of this war. You never know when single mother pulls through. Well, still 2 siege, so I'm going to have to take it. Alright, you guys come back. You guys are working on Riga. Yeah, that was a brutal fight. Then again, I don't have... you know, I've not exactly spec'd my army for high quality here. And Montenegrin ideas are far from the best. Still, though, I took that one unpleasantly. Still can't get over here because Riga's holding strong. But Riga won't hold strong forever. It's a shame, though, that their numbers were beaten back and we'll be able to replenish their... Oh, God, Darth there decided to die as well? Well, now, Single mother, you're heading to Riga. And we're going to get yet another new general. Just flying through these guys. Alright, let's have Power Mac join in. I like that. Power Mac is on his way to Riga to help keep it defended. And this will be single mothers. The day of the underscores is here. Alright, this is pretty good. I'm glad Kazakh is there. Let's just ensure that Kazakh remains there. So take that province in my name and nobody else's. Yeah, Power Max living up to his name here. Sadly, Wallachia got defeated in Prague and sent packing. It's also a little sad what's happening to the Swedes right now. But they're willing to stay in the war. Oh yeah, Württemberg is a thing. And they're being besieged by the Commonwealthy. That is cute. How's the Commonwealth doing? Commonwealth is suffering. They got debt galore. I doubt they'd even help me at this point. Well, I poured a lot into trust. And I am the nation you can trust. He's just floating around with that big stack. Sadly, though, they've dispatched the rebels, most of them at least, so I won't be getting the spit-offs from Commonwealth. But it's win-win for me. If Commonwealth remains strong, then I keep a strong ally. If they weaken, then I pluck away at what remains. Don't you dare drop that siege there. Cyprus are giving the Ottomans money. The Ottomans are clearly picking off Georgia. They're still balanced. And hopefully they remain non-militarist. Militarist rulers from the Ottomans spell very bad news for me. I want that admin tech whilst it's going cheap, and I definitely want the next one. Next ideas are most likely going to be diplomatic. Most likely. I like having extra diplomats. I like having lots of extra diplomats. Influence is tempting. It has both the relations and the rep, but this one has relations earlier, and I've been hemorrhaging relations for a long time. Oh, sweet. Good job. Good job, Kazakh. You think you could take that one as well? Hopefully they're not burning to their own rebels. They are not. If you really wanted to sabotage the common poor, you would force-feed them land to respawn that European coalition. They will be force-fed some land. Well, maybe not force-fed, but they will be fed land. Alright, this is good. Oh, this is also great. I love it when my enemies fight amongst themselves. It's actually a bit unfortunate for me that the Danes didn't come out on top there. I'm not liking drinking all this attrition, especially when I don't have to. Take a step back to Pskov for a bit. As for you folks, send the bulk of your army over to Livland. Oh wow, yeah, I forgot Riga is pretty meaty, isn't it? Georgia, full annexation, very sad for them. But not very sad for me. Oh, James, the Danes are going to occupy this. What are the Danes even doing in this war? They're attacking Oldenburg, but it was Bremen that's attacking Oldenburg, so Bremen just want Oldenburg. Yeah, go for it. Stops you being a crummy little OPM. Again, my enemies slugging it out against each other is beautiful. This isn't so beautiful though. My subject's getting hammered a bit down there by the Bohemians. At least Commonwealthy is trying to take down Prague. I'm not sure if I'd want to separate piece out Bohemia at this rate. If the Commonwealth feel like they've done too much in the war, then they... Oh god, they wouldn't even complain about what I'm taking here, which is everything for me. But I want Riga as well. I guess Commonwealth really haven't done a lot for us. Muscovy want military access? Sure, why not? Take care of your pretender rebs and, you know, do something useful for me, please. How though? Okay. That's religious ideas for you. Nothing but good events. Ostrov and Kolm, don't get me wrong, I definitely want to convert them. Unfortunately, they have religious zeal for the next 5 years. Still, I'll save money on conversions. I know a lot of people did not like the cost increase on conversions, but I like it a lot. And now I'm powerless to change it back. Removed a lot of the arcadey feel about conversions in my point of view, but that's just my point of view. It doesn't weigh more or less than yours. Right, all of this is occupado by Bremen. Hopefully they make their peace with Denmark, and then we move over and take this for ourselves. I don't want this land. I mean, it's not great. Actually, Matau isn't too bad. Actually, it's pretty damn good. I've changed my mind. I want this land, but it's probably too much for me to take anyway. Also, could you not drown me in attrition here? Get off of my back, Danes. It was great to see you back in the dev class, Jake. Oh yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. People bringing the carnage from day one is what I'm asking for. And they're ever so obliging. Alright, Liège I couldn't care one way or the other about in this, but I'm not really sure I'll be getting to them to do anything about it. But I want Riga down and out. And the Swedes aren't bleeding too hard, so I could probably round them into a war against Denmark once this is over. Yeah, they've caught me. I keep spying on Bohemia because they traditionally have extremely good technology, and I can use that to lower my costs here. Look at that, 10% reduction in tech costs, just straight up. I thought you were no longer with Paradox. I am no longer with Paradox, but that doesn't stop me just going where my heart pleases. And when I heard there was going to be a dev clash, my heart pleased going over to there. Swell. I'm not paying 70 ducats to convert Pskov. What if it was a... What if it was one of these? Then I'd pay only about 40 odd ducats. That's a bit better. Which means I could also convert you, right? No. But maybe someday. So all Jake's done is decide to attack LO. Well, in the past 20 minutes, yes. Riga's getting looted, and as much as I would like those ducats and power points, we're going to pay our people better to get that sweet professionalism. And that's a peace deal for the ages. Oh man, Commonwealth have done so little in this war, they don't even mind me taking everything for myself. Oh, but I could separate piece out you for loads of dosh, of which I actually get most of it. How about I take even more of it? Oh, that is good. I'd like to humiliate them, but I won't. I got plenty of PP as it is right now. So I do this, and then, yeah, this is good. This is pretty damn good. Thank you, and that gives me even more war score. And you're sure you're not going to be angry? They say they're not going to be angry, but you know what AIs can be like. Hungary, Muscovy, Denmark, Uzbek, Livonian Order, Ottomans and Riga. Well, Livonian Order and Riga won't. Uzbek won't. Hungary and Muscovy. Muscovy is truce locked, I believe. Ottomans are still a slight risk. But at least it's not a lot with the Ottomans. Still, this land is too good to pass up. I'm taking it all. Despite that enormous coring cost. Damn, I'm meant to be teching up at this point, but what can I say? Land begets power. Great. They weren't unhappy at all. Yeah, I know you got claims on me and all, so... Well, no, it's not claims. You probably just want my land. Regardless, it's getting cored. Most expensive stuff first. Oh, everything first. That works for me. Swell. A couple of forts, not the best placed ones in the world, especially when... Why have this when we have Pskov? Actually, the way that works out is why have Pskov when I have this? I think Latgalia is better placed than Pskov here. Yeah. Defends everything a good bit better. Alright, goodbye Pskovian fort. And I'll keep Riga on because that's a lot of devastation that we need shifted. They produce paper there. I would quite like to keep that,